Manitoba's Premier and Opposition Leader exchanged insults again today during a question period so lacking in decorum, even the Speaker of the House apologized. CBC's Bartley Kives watched what took place at the Manitoba Legislature and joins us now. So, Bartley, what went down?
Well, a lot of name-calling, taunting, and for lack of a better term, cheap shots. It started with Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew calling the opposition the snivelling PCs, and PC leader Abi Khan calling Kinew a snivelling NDP clown, and then it got worse. Kinew compared jousting with Khan with wrestling with a pig, leading Khan to accuse the Premier of racism because Khan is Muslim and pigs are unclean in his faith. Now, Kinew then taunted Khan, telling him it's okay to cry for getting beaten so often during question period. Kinew pointed out that Khan never won the ultimate prize as a CFL player.
The only thing the member opposite has to offer is his claim to have played football for many, many years. But you know what? In spite of those many years, I have exactly as many Grey Cups as he does.
Khan, in turn, cited a police report of the time that Kinew made racist statements and was charged with assaulting a taxi driver well before the Premier entered public life.
I'll ask the Premier, does the Premier hate taxi drivers? Does he hate Punjabis?
Member's time has expired.
So, Bartley, what did the Speaker do about all of this?
Well, he too had to apologize during an exchange between Kinew and PC MLA Rick Rauchuk over the blood-vein hunting blockade. Kinew called the PCs a party of latte-sipping tofu eaters, and Rauchuk called the Premier Pinocchio. That led Speaker Tom Lindsay to caution Rauchuk for effectively calling the Premier a liar. Lindsay said Rauchuk wasn't being too clever, and then the Speaker later apologized.
So why was it all so nasty today?
PC leader Abi Khan says he was tired of playing nice with the NDP, and the NDP said they're responding in kind.
Premier is not answering any questions. We have to change our strategy, and our strategy today was to do as the NDP are doing.
Question period is opposition time. It's up to the opposition to set the tone, and I think we saw the tone that they wanted to set today.
This was the last question period of the week before the Christmas break, and perhaps then the tone will get a little bit more festive. Brittany.
All right, thank you. That's CBC's Bartley Kives. Well, a judge has dismissed a hunting group's request for the court to stop a First Nations check stop. The group says it prevents licensed moose hunters from crossing this fall. The CBC's Rosanna Hempel brings us that story.
First Nations leaders celebrating a judge's decision to dismiss a motion from the Manitoba Wildlife Federation.
As Chief of Bloodvein River First Nation, I am deeply relieved and grateful that the justice system has acknowledged what we have long said. The checkpoint is about protecting the safety, health, and the dignity of our people.
The Wildlife Federation accused Bloodvein of setting up what they called an illegal blockade on the main road south of the community and asked the courts to stop them. The fishing and hunting advocacy group argued that 2 hunting parties weren't allowed to pass through in September. In his decision Thursday, the judge said licensed moose hunters would be inconvenienced but not wholly prevented from hunting. I am not convinced it would permanently prevent any licensed moose hunters from legally hunting elsewhere in Manitoba, Justice Theodore Bach said in court. Outside court, a lawyer for the Wildlife Federation says Thursday's decision didn't go their way, but they still count the lawsuit as a victory.
At the end of the day, the Manitoba Wildlife Federation was successful in the objective it had when it started this lawsuit, ensuring that licensed moose hunters have access to provincial lands north of the check stop.
Kevin Toyne says Bloodvein has committed to that promise in court and in writing. Chris Heald with the Wildlife Federation is confident the First Nation will follow through when moose hunting resumes on Monday.
We expect the chief to keep her word.
Meanwhile, Chief Lisa Young says